you cause a few commotions in your city and then you convert to Islam, does that mean you're going to be good?
That's what I was saying. But if you can see, if you convert to Islam, you know, then it's saying you righteous right now. But then
Mm.
again, I'm like, how long has he been converted, and has he showed that he's traveling that righteous path?
To be fair, to be
Is it too
fair,
early?
I feel like since Dirk converted to Islam, he has been dissing less. Like I feel like before the Islam, he was going crazy, dissing, smoking on duck. Everyone should have ducked. All of this crazy stuff. I think since he converted to Islam, he's been lowering it down because he was getting very disrespectful with it. You know, whether it's duck or Quando or any of that stuff, man. So it was getting pretty serious.
So
But
after King Von got killed, he
mm,
went crazy, or do you think he was like mellowing out?
no, I
Because
think
remember, he had that case.
I
He
think he
had
turned up extra. You know, I feel like when Von passed away, you know, rest in peace to Von. Obviously, Von and Dirk had that case, and that case all kind of fell onto Von. You know, suddenly Dirk was completely scot
yeah.
free on that case, and I feel like he kind of turned up. You know, definitely turned up with pushing the violence and smoking dead people, and you know what I'm saying, claiming certain things, saying no on tracks. You know, it was a very disrespectful time, man. But I feel like he's matured beyond that at the moment with the Islam, and I respect it. But man, it'd be sad to see him catch a case, but it could still happen. The Islam, unfortunately, isn't going to protect him if he has unfortunately committed a crime and been caught up. You know.
Well, listen, man. I wish the best. I think when he did the J. Cole song, he started to, you know, and I think when he seen all these motherfucking RICO indictments going on, he started to kind of like
Mm.
mellow out. Like maybe I need to take a different route to this shit because it was definitely coming. Like I definitely thought it was gonna be a sweep and he was gonna be involved in one of
I thought so too, man. And I think the crazy thing is, you know, no disrespect to Dirk, he's lost a lot of very close friends and family to the streets over the years, which is very very unfortunate. I can't imagine the pain that he's been through. But you know, in the past few years, I think he's been unfortunately associated with a lot of cases and situations that have been very high profile. And you know, the reality is that in a couple of situations, you know, the people that were essentially his connection to that case passed away. You know, I definitely wouldn't say that he had anything like I think Chicago is just a very violent place, and you know a lot of people lose their lives very young. But you know, if Dirk's brother Defang was alive, he was mentioned in the murder of FBG Duck case as having allegedly paid for Duck's location before the murder.
them.
So
No shit.
obviously he's no longer with us, right? But you know the situation could have been different if he was still alive, and then they could connect the situation to Dirk somehow. That possibly could have seen Dirk wrapped up into the actual FBG Duck murder case. But at the same time, clearly, if there was no evidence, he's not in the case. So clearly, there was no evidence to associate him with a
But
crime.
we're
But
seeing
if
one just like that down in Memphis with
mm,
with uh you know old boy's brother and his company. So what you just said actually is a little closer because I don't know to what involvement Dirk's brother was as far as when it come to his label. So we're seeing the same thing you just said going along with Big Juke down there.
Let me ask you this, Wack, right? Because this is a historical precedent. Because for decades in the rap game, there's always been an overlap between kind of the streets and the record business. Now, probably one of the earliest, most famous instances is obviously Death Row Records,
Hmm.
and you know that was one of the probably the first, the biggest, the most famous example of kind of essentially, you know, gang affiliated tough guys kind of bullying their way into the music industry. And you know, obviously, what ended up happening with Death Row Records was more of a, I guess, a business downfall. And Suge Knight himself, you know, got caught up in a few legal cases. But what would you say nowadays to rappers that are maybe, you know, they're coming from the streets, they're starting their careers, they're starting their label, and they're just giving their record label and their LLC the same damn name as their actual gang in the streets? Like, what do you think of that kind of behavior?
Bad, no, don't do it because they're going to link it and call it a criminal organization.
Mm.
You know
And
what I'm
that's
saying?
how you lose your legal money, right? You're making money from
Yeah,
music. Suddenly,
exactly.
it's under the name of the gang.
Okay, let me ask you a question, right?
Mm.
If let's say you had a corporation and this corporation was just for your vehicles. So when the
Mm.
police run the plates, this what comes up, right? You're
Mm.
registering your vehicles to your corporations.
Mm.
Would you want your shit to be called Murder Game Music, right? Or would you want it to be called, Pimp That Bitch Incorporated, right? Or would you want it to be called R and R Legal?
Mm. Mm.
Which
Well,
one
that's
would which one would you want it to be called when the police get behind there and run the place? My
facts.
shit go say R&R legal,
Mm,
right? They see all the other shit, they pulling you over, they're tying you and they associating you to some negative shit, to some bullshit. So now they got to get away from that. They got to
mm.
learn how to separate business from the bullshit.
That's facts. But you know what it is, man. I feel like, look, I don't know about you, but I'm a law-abiding citizen. Okay, I don't break any laws. I don't even drive over the speed limit. Okay, Wack. Like, I'm a good citizen. I'm a civilian. I'm an NPC. But I feel like if you're a rapper, even if you name your business and your LLC something positive, like if you're really out here pushing violence, making music about spinning on people, and it's not just entertainment, and you're really living that lifestyle, no matter what you call the business, the feds are going to come from you. And I would always say to rappers, man, if you come from the streets and you get rich, I pray that you just leave that behind and become an entertainer. Because I think if Von was still here, he would probably be on trial for having used his rap money to fund some of these murders that kept happening. And it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like this generation, it's like the line between the streets and the music is actually non-existent anymore. The music is it's almost gone beyond art, and it's almost like the music's it's like battle music. What do you think of that?
You said the
Hey,
back
Wack,
and forth
you're on
seemed like
mute.
it's. Say that again.
Well, like I would say, like back in the Death Row Records days, right? It was like the I don't know. Obviously, Tupac really was a street guy, but he was an entertainer at the end of the day, and he was making empowering music. But like nowadays, it seems like the gangs, like the music is just it's kind of the music is just the battle cry for killing people, right? Like, how do you feel like the mentality's changed over the years with
No,
kind of
I see what you're
street
saying.
influence in music?
I see what you're saying. At one point, and actually, even Tupac, you know what? Tupac kind of initiated the shit because at one
Mm,
point in time, he was making street music, pain music, reality music.
mm,
Things that we was going through, Dear
mm,
Mama and shit like that, right? Me and my girlfriend, shit like that. But then once Hit 'Em Up came, you know
mm,
what I'm saying, and then that song led to possible violence. You know what I
mm,
mean?
mm.
These youngsters is doing what they know. They're
Yeah.
doing what the industry is saying, like this is what we want to hear. Now they're in a reset mode. They're saying we don't want to hear none of that shit. We actually dropping you artists. We're not signing you. And I think they're confused on what it is they are to do today. You know what I'm saying? Unless their indie channels is showing and telling them otherwise, I think they just hit reset on them, locked the doors, bolted down the windows,
Mm,
and we're still trying to figure out what does work for us. We're in that state,
mm,
and I think it's a gift and a curse because yes, it's gonna stop a lot of the random immediate violence because these motherfuckers is kill a motherfucker at 12 o'clock. They go do a song, be done by 2. Shot a motherfucking video of them doing the song, and by 5 o'clock, that shit's up on academics, slid on Pookie, and they
mm,
showing the murder scene that just really happened. It's fresh. It ain't even 10 hours old. So next thing you know, guess what? The ops want to do one too, and it really just made the fire burn. Killing been going on, gang banging been going on, street
mm,
politics been going on. But the way they started to do the music, the access that they had to the independent platforms to promote that music that quick. Think about it, bro. It would take a motherfucker damn near 6 to 9 months to do a project and line it up to be promoted.
mm.
We could promote at the click of a button. I can go on there right now and be like, yeah, you bitch ass niggas on the south side. That's why that nigga brains over there in the McDonald's parking lot. You bitch ass nigga, we up one, sin. And it's out.
Yeah, that's crazy. So let me ask you this, man. Having been around for so many different eras of famous hip hop beefs, do you feel like the kind of the King Von and Lil Durk versus FBG Duck and kind of Quando and Youngboy, do you feel like that beef is as big as the Biggie Tupac beef was back in the day?
I think it's more violent
Mm,
because Biggie's not dead because of Tupac, and Tupac's not dead because of Biggie.
mm,
These other people, they bodies is tied in.
yeah.
And even though they're gone, it's a lot of other bodies that people didn't know the names to, right?
Mm,
That's happening. You get what I'm saying?
Mm,
So, like, yeah, I definitely believe it's more violent, it's more real.
mm,
Biggie was Biggie and Tupac was Tupac. So you got bigger names per se, but the actual situation, oh no, that was a bigger situation in the street because it just didn't stop with them. And neither one of them are dead because of each other. These
mm,
other dudes is really tied to each other.
mm.
We done lost half our city to that shit for real, for real.
Hey, facts, man. Facts. Hey, that's 16 in here, yeah?
Yeah.
That's
What's that
16.
word? What's that word?
Hey,
Wack.
what's cracking, man? How you
Yo,
been?
Shit
look,
cooling, man.
look at this nigga name. Trap boy, look at it. What is it? 16 shot him. Now, he's smart enough to know how to, turn that into some business shit, right? Because this man ain't no dummy, right? But again, yes, I think the industry, those people over there in that building, then said, "Hey, enough is enough.
Mm,
Enough is enough. Even though we grow you and get you big." We getting the backlash. It's bad for business. We got enough money out of you guys, and we're just gonna pull the plug, and
mm,
we're gonna roll it into something else until y'all figure out what works for y'all. But we're no longer supporting this. No way overnight that they fire over 2,000 execs, go public. UMG goes public in the stock market, and all the motherfucking body numbers drop 40%.
mm,
That
mm,
means something was definitely going on internally.
mm.
16, what you think about that?
You know, they was trying to blame it on some Diddy shit, but I don't think that's
Nah,
real.
nigga, it already happened. Nigga, it was already going on about a year, 18 months before Diddy's downfall.
They probably just tired of this shit. So it's a repeating cycle. People
There
doing
you
this
go.
shit die, they gonna make it, and then they die. Like way more people die than make it with this shit. Like
Bro, I had the club promoter call me and say, Wack, we looking for R&B. You got some R&B guys? Why, what's up, man? Listen, man, people scared. Niggas thinking they gonna get shot in the thing, outside the thing. They scared.
Mm,
for sure, like a nigga like Chief Keef. I ain't gonna lie. Like he inspired a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. Like he the reason why a lot of people actually did get a career. But there's so many more people that chased that dream that didn't make it, that died. And it's like they don't pay attention to the numbers. There's way more people dying chasing this shit, and then they just let a few make it, and that's who get like that's who gets shown, and people just keep following this trap. Like I hate sometimes even doing interviews because it's like
Are you gonna
it's
promote some bullshit without wanting to?
yeah, it's like it's hard to do what I wanted to do originally. Once I learned like how this shit really is and how this shit really work.
Listen, look what Charleston White trying to do to Chicago right now.
mm.
That's fake content.
What
But
he's
it's
talking about? He got shot out here or
he got
something?
shot. He released that. He got them people doing that. I done called every side of Chicago. Nigga, you in here now. Right? You would know, right? They like, whack, that shit ain't happening. This nigga using Chicago name because he didn't talk crazy because ain't nothing else going on with the nigga name but him getting arrested and telling and then high. And the nigga was high at a light for 30 minutes, wouldn't move. You know what I'm saying? So now he want to put some shit out. Shot, Chicago nigga shot me. But it's fake.
Yeah,
Right? Guess why? Because it's more believable. Why didn't he say some Minnesota niggas? Some Texas nigga. They don't like your ass down there either. But no, let me put this light on Chicago. Why you got Dirk up here? Why you got Dirk up here saying he's, uh, devoted Muslim and they done gave him keys to two different areas, on some positive shit. Nah, let's put this negative shit back on there. You know what I'm saying? Let's put this shit.
Wack, let me ask you something, man. Let me ask you something, because
Yeah.
since I've been out here in LA, I've been doing interviews with different people from different LA sets, Bloods, Crips, all types of
hmm
shit, and I feel like the mindset out here is so different to Chicago. I feel like people out here move so much more disciplined. They
Yeah,
move with
well,
way
it's
more
more structure.
history. You know what I'm saying?
It's more structure. It's more structure. I mean, you got to remember. Hold on. Let me post some shit. We got homeboys in their 70s, late 60s and 70s. So it's like even myself, I'm like fourth generation or some shit like that, fourth, fifth
Mm,
generation. So
mm,
when you're dealing with that. is more structured. In Chicago, the youngsters, they listen to niggas that might be 28.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Shit,
saying?
if that, it's like 16-year-olds listening to 21-year-olds, or
Yeah.
kids listening to
They
other
listen to
kids for real,
motherfuckers
for real.
might be 28. Watch this. Now, this is all you guys heard this individual's name. It's a funeral they just had. All y'all heard this individual name. Tupac used to scream it. Y'all hear Big Rock got knocked, but this one's for you. That's Rock Chisholm. Rest in peace. He was doing life in prison for a motherfucking gun.
Hmm?
Back in the day where they niggas just got the stash spots, right? But pay attention to that photo of my PTR. Look how old those individuals are. That LPP, you know what I'm saying? That's Ludus Park Paru. That mean they the ones sent that floor arrangement. But Brock was from Elm Street Paru. He was doing life for a pistol, been in there, shit, 24, probably 27 years or 28 years. When he got so sick, the prison didn't want to pay for it, so they released him. And within like couple months, he passed away, right? So that just happened a couple days ago. But look how old those individuals are. You get what
Mm.
I'm saying? Now, them is real power rules, real bloods up in that picture that's still active today. So if they 65, then you got some people up under them 58, 55. Then it's another division up under them, 50 to 55. Then you got the 45 to 50 where I fall, fourth generation. Then under me, that 38 to 45. And then under them, the 30 to 38. So it's like if a dude is 30 years old, 90% of the chance I'm not talking to him. My homeboy up under me, I'm gonna talk to him and he gonna talk to them. They don't have that in Chicago.
Mm.
And then the youngsters in Chicago, if you ain't getting no money or you got nothing going for yourself, they ain't gonna respect you anyway. They don't want to hear nothing you talking about. Period. You fucked up in the streets on heroin, asking them for a handout. You can't come over there telling them nothing. And I was telling them, I believe if they release Larry Hoover today, shout out to Larry Hoover. Those streets, as it is today, he couldn't shut that down. He couldn't stop. I don't know. I could be speaking out of turn. 16 in here,
I
Chuck in
feel
here.
I feel that too. Like I do feel like it's still a lot of people who gonna listen to what he got to say, but it's a lot of shorties who never even experienced, his realm at all. Like all he is like a legend to them. So it's like a nigga like that coming home and telling the nigga what to do that been out here by himself. They gonna look at you like, what you did for me? Like if a motherfucker come in and find a way for people to make money, and anybody that go against it, they get dealt with. Maybe then, yeah, but just come in thinking him being who he is, the shorties don't respect it. They don't even respect their fucking parents.
That's a fact.
Hey,
Them,
Wack, I feel like recently we've been seeing a lot of beef between different cities. Like, we got situations where you got guys in Philly are beefing with guys in Chicago now. We done seen crews click up in different states to kind of beef with each other. Like, what do you think as far as like gangsters from different states pressing each other? Should different
why
cities
don't,
and states respect each other?
are we talking about rappers?
I mean, rappers, but like nowadays, the rappers
Rappers
got
that's
the
in the
gangsters
streets.
behind them.
Yeah, see, here go the thing. If a rapper from Chicago and it's a rapper from Philly, and they getting into it, yeah, they side, they streets, they city gonna stand behind them if it's something of that magnitude. But that ain't gonna have all of Chicago saying fuck Philly and all of Philly saying fuck Chicago.
Yeah, because everybody already don't get along. Shit.
Hey,
Yeah,
do you
so
do you ever feel like there could be another thing like the East Coast versus West Coast rap beef, like a full blown Chicago versus another city type beef? You know what I'm saying? Like East versus West was a big thing back in the day, right?
The right person
yeah,
die.
it drove the music industry, but it wasn't street, it was industry. That was Death Row and Bad Boy.
Mm,
We didn't niggas fuck with Bad Boy, nigga. We listened to Bad Boy music. It wasn't like
mm,
fuck New York because of bad. Nah, it was those two labels. One happened to be on the east, one happened to be on the west. But the media spun it that way. Those
mm,
people that didn't have to be in the middle of that storm spun that way. The
mm.
people overall, I've never seen, even when it was a dude named Tim Dog out of New York who came with a song called Fuck Compton,
Damn.
right? He made a song. Even that, niggas from Cali and Compton was like, it's on with Tim Dog. They didn't
Mm.
say fuck New York. You didn't see DJ Quick and nobody respond with a fuck New York song.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think it's that deep. I don't know what y'all hearing up there, 16. Is it that deep up there with that?
Hey, what you hearing,
Nah, it
16?
it it, it just be people from like it's like the internet. Like if I'm from Chicago and I say fuck a Philly rapper and all my homies saying it, but they from different hoods, the internet think that's the whole Chicago. It's just personal with us and these niggas. But people get on the bandwagon, people that's not even involved, and make it look like it's more than what the shit is. It's really just a few hoods that all fuck with each other. That's all on one accord. Shit, if they into it with them, they all into it with them. But it's also another side of niggas who gonna be like, you good. I just did an interview with some niggas. I probably drop it today. They all saying like, Quani, you good. Come to our block. Ain't shit gonna happen. So it's always two sides.
Hey, 16. What's the worst experience you've had doing an interview, man? Have you ever had an interview go left, shoot out, something crazy?
Shit, the shootout shit, I wouldn't say that's the worst. Probably going to jail.
For real?
Yeah.
What, from an interview?
Not from an interview, but it's like, that's why I stopped shooting music videos, because it's like,
Mm,
interviews, I can control the environment. I can control everything. You know, a music video, you booking me to come where you want me to come to put your vision out. So if that's on your block and you got the
mm,
hottest block, the police always smacking that bitch, and I got to protect myself. So I get
mm,
tired of getting in situations like that. I
mm,
did this shit to escape this type of shit, and it was getting me catching more cases. I'm catching gun cases
mm.
on other niggas' blocks that I don't got no beef on.
That's crazy, man. Hey, let me ask you this, bro. Like, I don't kind of agree with this narrative, but a lot of people say like, oh, the interviews like push the violence. Now, I don't personally agree. I feel like if people want to sit down and do an interview and talk their shit, they put that out there, right? It's not your fault that somebody wanted to do an interview and disrespect somebody. But at the same time, like, what do you say to people who say that the interviews are the problem?
I think we definitely should be held responsible for some of the shit we do, for sure.
Mm,
Like, don't get me wrong, like me, my intentions don't be fucked up, but just because my intentions ain't fucked up don't mean shit don't happen behind some of the actions I take. But you know, a motherfucker just human, we just men. It's different when you know what you're doing and you just don't give a fuck. Like
mm,
I
But
know
you can,
y'all fuck with
in
Adam and
my
shit, but
opinion, you can
Adam,
ask whatever questions you want. It's up to them how they answer it.
it
that's
is,
facts.
it is for sure. Cause it's like they the street niggas, they supposed to know. But at the end of the day, like some people, bro, they are very aware of what the fuck they doing and don't care.
Mm,
It's
mm,
like when you intentionally instigate just because you know the other side gonna have something to say, and now you got another interview, and
mm.
you keep having them go back and forth. Like that's kind of evil because it's
I,
like you making money off of it, you don't give a fuck, but
mm,
it's real consequences happen behind this shit. And I ain't saying like these niggas not grown, and you know you can't just blame a grown man for what other grown men do, but you can pay attention to a nigga intention.
Yeah, that's for real, man. That's for real. It's interesting to me, man, because I feel like this is something I wanted to ask Wack, which is like obviously you've kind of seen the history of the streets kind of evolve. The death row era. It felt like gangsters were kind of in the music industry, but not. It wasn't really clear cut. Whereas nowadays, it's like people are sitting down to do interviews. They never released a song. They're just a famous gangster. Like I feel like I don't know, Wack. Could you have ever imagined like 20, 30 years ago that gangsters would be sitting down to do real interviews for YouTube views?
Yeah, you know why? Because motherfuckers like John Gotti started it.
Mm.
Motherfuckers like what's my man from New York? He turned rat. Um,
Sammy the Bull.
Alpo.
Oh
no,
yeah,
no,
seven.
no, the other one. From Harlem. What's the nigga told on his homies? So they fucked his bitch. Um, Nick. What's his nigga
Nicky
name?
Barnes.
Nicky Barnes.
Mm.
Nicky Barnes and start. These niggas was going on motherfucking the cover of magazines, right? So it was definitely believable. Now it was being frowned on. It was frowned upon back then. And then I think the real change was the rappers of our time were street reporters. They wasn't really what they were rapping about. Ice
Mm.
Cube ain't never been to the penitentiary or a substation, but he
Mm.
lived in it and he saw it and he went through some things with the police, so on and so forth. But Ice Cube's not a gangbanger or a gang member. He may be associated with the area he come from, but then you look up and you got a little motherfucker, that's really from right here, that he really from You know what I'm saying? This really what it is. He's really running the block, and now he's on a fucking a video with the niggas really on the block. These ain't no extras.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying? So in a sense, we start doing the police job for them.
mm,
All they had to do was wait for us to pay for the video, make the song, edit the video, and put it up. Then they took it and just identified everybody in the video. Zoom in, okay, there go a gun. Wait, ain't that little LQ? They say little LQ might have shot the nigga at the corner last week. Is that a 40 caliber he's flashing in there? Okay, we can use that as enough of probable cause to get a search warrant to hit his house to see if that's really the gun. You see how
mm,
I start working? So
mm,
it's like the clout and the fame start taking precedent over the rules of the streets, which is to get away.
mm,
They said, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. I'm going all in today. If I get caught tomorrow for it, fuck it. And then when they cuff them, they calling in and they got their people, here go my IG code. Record this call and put it out.
mm.
So it's different. It ain't, it's no street code. No, what is the code of the street?
It's true. It's but what do you feel made the street code kind of disappear, right? Because it's like people don't respect the morals that used to be so important. But like, what happened? Like, where did that? Is it all clout?
Niggas
Like,
ain't
why are
killing
people
these
moving
niggas.
like this?
There ain't no
My,
it ain't no
It
consequences to
ain't no
shit.
consequences behind it no more.
no consequences, and the way people got money before is different now.
Mm,
They like, okay, you got to be known for people to listen to you, and so we got to do these things and do that and do this and say that. When
mm.
people was getting money, the way we got way back in the day, they didn't put that on camera. Now it's like they go
That
rob
sounds
some
good.
shit and put the money on their camera, which will in turn tie you back to the robbery. It's different and the consequences.
Like, what's the reason that people snitch? Because they scared to go to jail, right?
Yeah, yeah, today
So if you was most scared to
to
die,
die
yeah, you see what I'm
or
saying?
your
So it's like,
family member get killed.
yeah. So that's it's like that's why I don't even listen. I don't even listen to people when they talk about interviewing snitches. I used to didn't do it, but then I thought about it like, bro,
Yeah,
if
you was
y'all
one
so
of them
mad
niggas.
about this shit
You was
and
one of them
y'all
niggas
supposed to be the
had
street
something to say
niggas,
about me.
do y'all
Yeah,
business. You
16. You had something to say about me when I interviewed 6ix9ine. Tell the truth. Tell the
no, I
truth,
didn't.
16.
I ain't understand it though, but I ain't speak on it though.
Wait. You didn't understand it back then, or do you understand it now?
I get it now for sure. I just didn't understand it because like I'm pretty sure I might be wrong. Pretty sure I'd have seen you like go in on niggas for ratting. So I didn't get it. I'm like,
Okay,
why
so
you doing it
look,
with him?
I'm gonna tell you why I did it. I watched about 10 interviews with 16. I mean with 6ix9ine, right? And everybody interviewing wasn't from the streets. And 6ix9ine was spinning the fuck out of them. He get to hollering and yelling and screaming and saying this and saying that. And they didn't really have no comeback because they just got a big name in front of them and they don't really know what to say about the streets because they ain't from the streets. So I said, you know what? Somebody from the streets need to interview this dude to put him in a box and make him see what he ain't. And I believe I'm the first one that did it.
Nah,
That's
for sure.
all it was. He was winning 16. The nigga was still beating us because he interviewing about the streets with motherfuckers that ain't from the streets and he coming out to interviews victorious.
Yeah, because they don't know how to deal with it.
They didn't know how to deal with it. I sat him down. I said, well, what makes you think you was from that set? Did you get put on? No. Did you put in some work? No. You was just paying them, right? Right. So that means you really wasn't from the set. And even the niggas that had you around shit was in violation, even exposing you to all that. They should have kept you in the club, kept you in front of a camera, and sent your ass home. So again, I'm asking you, what made, and he couldn't, he like, nah, I never did none of that. I said, so, cause you was taking care of you niggas and they letting you holler and scream. And he told the story. I said, how all them niggas, he said, Wack, when I did that video with all them niggas with them red bandanas, I went and brought all the red bandanas, pulled up on a block, turned on the radio, and started performing and started passing them out. And the niggas got caught up in the moment and started flagging. That lets me know that that set has no structure and no discipline. For one, you shouldn't be able to just pull up on the block. I don't give a fuck who you. Hey, Wack, who was that with you, my nigga? Who is that? Who is this nigga? What's happening with this? Right? So there's no structure, no discipline on those blocks where he was at. And about 3 months after that, he called my phone at midnight and said, Wack, you right. I ain't no gangster. I know you not. You's an opportunist.
See, I
16.
feel
I
weird when you
can't
trying to.
accept him being me, bro. Can you accept 16, 6'9" being you?
You said being me.
Yeah, nigga, cause he was stepping in that lane, like as if nigga on
Nah,
y'all.
I feel like I be having a weird feeling when it comes to six
We
nine because
talk
it's like
about streets.
I call him a rat, but at the same time, I feel like for me to even call him a rat, man, I had to believe that he was a street nigga to begin with, and I never did.
Oh,
He was
now
street though.
you
When he was sending shots at Chief Keef and you know what I'm saying, having people robbed,
that
he
don't
was
make you
street.
a street nigga. No.
Yeah, that don't
He
Okay,
mean
let me
he's
he
ask
said he
you
street.
got
something.
jumped in. He said he got
Trap,
jumped in.
trap, let me ask you something.
All right.
And you know a lot of this shit going in the UK.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that dude that go pay that dude to get rid of his wife before he divorces her, he a street dude? Or is
All
that
right.
business?
Nah, but okay. How about this? How about this? Right. If I'm with the gangsters, right, and I've been jumped in, and I'm wearing the bandana, and I'm the
That
breadwinner, and
never
I get the
happened.
money,
He
and
never
I'm
got
that's.
jumped
He
in.
never got
He never
jumped
got
in.
I
jumped
swear he
in.
said he got jumped in.
He
No,
never
if you
got
go
jumped
look
on.
at the interview with me, him, and 6ix9ine, the first one in Miami, I asked all those questions. Said he
Mm.
never got put on. He never put in no work.
I've seen him cap about that for sure. But okay, let me ask you this then about 6ix9ine. I just feel like, even though I respect him, I don't think he did anything wrong. But I feel like I could call him a gangster. I feel like he's a gangster. He's got a gangster mentality.
No, no,
Real talk.
no, no. I will say this. Being around the element he was around, he
Mm.
started to pick up the mentality. And prior to that, he was way smarter than those dudes.
Well,
This is
that's
why
what I
he was
mean.
able to manipulate them, right?
When he was running around doing gummo and that shit, I
He
believed his gangster. Like when he went on the Test My Gangster tour, you know what I'm saying? He didn't really get tested. I know the shit went left, but like, I don't know. Like other than getting kidnapped by his own boys, he never really got touched. You know?
This is the thing. 6ix9ine was an entertainer and a rapper, right?
Mm.
But he had the mentality to survive by any means necessary without restrictions,
Hey,
right?
so 6ix9ine claiming the Bloods for his career. Would you call that culture vulture?
I mean, you could, but I'm gonna call it. I'm not even mad at him for doing it because they allowed it to happen.
Yeah,
They
that's what
benefited off
Mm.
stops
each
it
other
from
too.
being culture war. So they let him.
They
Now that's
allowed it
I
to
don't
facts.
know.
That's
happen. I
facts.
I
can't
don't
That's a
be.
know if
fact though.
it's culture vulture. I say perpetrate.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Mm.
they still allowed it to happen. And 6ix9ine is a very, very smart guy.
Mm.
Like right now, right? You ain't gonna hear nobody. Watch how cowardly our culture is. Ain't nobody gonna take no shots at 6ix9ine right now. I bet you
Mm.
that. He
Mm.
just signed to Cartel Music for like 18 months, and they know what that means. They seen who was standing with him. They
Hey,
know. Listen, I
answer
bet
me
you they
this,
ain't
man.
gonna say nothing to him.
Is cartel music? Is that really the cartel music, or is that
Hey,
just the name of the
no, that's
company?
listen. Put it like this: he got to do turn in an all Latin album, and he got to do 25 shows throughout Mexico. And if you
Mm.
seen him standing with the representatives, you understand what you doing, what you're dealing with. They gave him $6 million for
Mm.
25 shows and an album, right?
Mm.
Cartel music. His face is on a wall in Mexico City, a big
Mm.
ass mural, right?
Mm.
That's a cartel city. Let somebody go playing with him right now and watch how it goes.
That's facts. That's facts. But answer me this, bro. Keep it real. I know you like him. I like 6ix9ine. I'm a big fan. But
No,
did he fall off musically?
no, I don't believe musically. I just think he crossed the street because urban music didn't fell off as a whole.
Mm.
He seen it coming. Like he been across the street over there. He 3 times bigger over there in the Latin lane.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying?
Hey, do you feel like country music kind of took the spot from where rap music was really the most popular thing out?
No, I just think everything, bro. We've been in that seat, the big boom. Probably we've been in that seat damn near 30, 25, 30 years, right?
Mm. Mm.
Okay, and then the rest of this shit declined. I
Yeah.
just think things is, it's evolving.
Mm.
It's evolving, and And just like country used to be crazy big. I mean, and it bottomed out. It's back.
Mm,
Um, no, it is what it is. We gotta reevaluate, reinvent, recreate, and come with something that our people are going to support. I
mm,
think the problem is it's too much trap for us to do.
yeah.
Right? Okay. Once upon a time, um, it was a few things to do. Right now, you got Spotify, you got Twitter, you got Facebook, you got TikTok, you got, they blame me, but you got Clubhouse, uh,
Mm,
fucking, you got 20, 30 different apps. People are on podcasts, fucking YouTube. If you're
mm,
watching today, if they watched us for 2 hours on No Jumper, right? That's
mm,
2 hours people wasn't streaming.
mm,
If people are in here listening to us right now, that's time that they're not streaming. If they're on
mm.
TikTok, TikToking in front of their little light and editing and doing all that little shit, that's time people not streaming. So, it's more for people to do now.
Hey, do you feel like if a artist kind of came out of the hood, from a set with a gang affiliation, but started making like country music, but about spinning on the ops, do you think that shit would pop off?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? It's crazy you said that. Because I got an artist from Alabama,
Mm,
that he brought me this music about a year or two ago.
mm,
Um, and crazy is all country street music. And I
hell
was
yeah.
kind of looking at him and looking at him and looking at him. And that shit's here now. And I just called him the other day, told him we need to sit down and try to do something with it. I think it'll
For
work.
sure.
Hey,
For
It's
sure.
but
I
but
think
somebody
that'll
but
work
already
too.
Ross,
hot
but
doing that
Ross,
shit.
wouldn't country drill kind of turn everybody away from the shit that's like it's doing hip hop? Because I
You know
personally think
what?
the reason why people turning away from the hip hop shit is because of all this death that's going on in it. Yeah,
That's
it hypes it up.
interesting, man. That's
It hypes it
interesting.
up. Look, it hypes it up. Yeah, but then shit, who wanna invest in that out all the time? Then the music is just a consistent killing, 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 killing. Niggas get bored with that.
You know
Now
what?
niggas is listening to EDM.
I think you're right, yeah, that people get bored with the killing music, but I don't necessarily think it's just because it's killing. Because I think if people just straight up rejected the killing music, I don't think drill would have ever even taken off. I think what people are tired of is they've heard the same tired drill songs about we spun this op on this block and shot, we're smoking on this guy, I got 7 bodies, 8 bodies, 9, now Jeff's got 11 bodies. I think people are just tired of that same old thing because I feel like as much as I love drill music and I love the aggressive energy that it gives me, I'm listening to King Von in the gym, I'm not killing people, but like I feel like we've kind of heard it all before, and sometimes drill music can be very one-dimensional. Like I'd love to see, like I love when King Von does a little love song. I know people hate No Flaws, but like I think that's a cute, hard song. Pause, but like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like if the drill rappers actually got out of their lane and started making music for a wider audience, I think the scene could grow. But at the end of the day, only so many people want to hear music about killing people. But now, when we go to the country mix, I feel like because it's a new thing, people are excited. People always want the new thing, the new sound, like the shit they never heard before. So I think if someone jumped on country talking about spinning the block and singing about it, like that guy that's got that Tipsy song out now, I think that shit would pop
Shabushi.
off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I think
But
that
Definitely,
Afro
definitely.
beats a wave too, like the Afro
yeah,
beat
the
shit.
Afro beats are popping.
Okay, definitely. Just like how we heard the drill change from Chicago, and then when it got to the New York drill, it got a little more popularized, is what you're saying. So if
Hey,
we
facts.
change,
That's facts. Because like you get someone like Ice Spice, right? She's not talking about any violence, but she's rapping on drill beats, and it's kind of
Y'all get
like,
it?
is this even
I
drill
heard
anymore?
somebody call her the princess of drill. I wouldn't consider her a drill artist though.
But it's like drill.
I think people confuse what drill is. Just because you hop on a beat that's a drill beat don't make you a drill artist for real.
now
No,
16,
that's
I'm
that's
glad
facts.
that you said that because, like, bro, you from the rack, bro. What's considered drill? Is it the content or is it the beat?
Mm,
It's like overall, it's the package. It's drill. Like the word drill meant like going to hit, gang. Like
mm,
I don't see Ice Spice rapping about going on hits, even acting like she going on hits. So it's like how is she a drill rapper? And I love Ice
mm.
Spice, but it's like drill rapper is crazy. Like
Yeah,
she like a pop star.
but she makes. That's the thing. She low key makes drill music, but it don't make sense.
But hold
She
on,
make cute music.
would it be pop drill? Because
I
that's
guess it
all
would be pop drill.
it
Yeah,
would
I
be
guess it'd be
pop
pop
drill,
drill.
bro.
But that's like a new thing, right?
I
But
guess
here's
if
the
they
thing.
if you
Here's the
create your
thing.
own genre.
You don't got to be Ice Spice to make a pop drill record and go on Billboard. All of these guys that are gangbanging, making music, talking about smoking this guy down the street that just got killed, they could be making pop records and having a successful life and getting out of those situations. And I feel like that's one of the things, like, I feel is very unfortunate about this scene, is that you got so many talented guys making good music, but all about killing people. And it's a shame people don't apply themselves to like more positive things. I mean, even you take someone like Dolph, he was super affiliated with the streets, but he's making motivational music, you know, music that you get up and go and hustle to. It wasn't all about killing people. Yeah, he had his problems, but it wasn't just all that negative energy. You know, Dolph's music gets you charged up, and it's not really that violent.
So then how
Yeah,
do you?
it's hard to tell that to a city though, like a city like
Mm,
Chicago, where
mm,
like we really got our traction from this killing shit for real. Like, don't
yeah.
get me wrong, a lot of artists are talented, but that ain't really what got people paying attention. They wasn't just like, oh, Chicago just super talented. It was the storyline, it was the drill. So it's like when y'all be saying like they probably tired of it, I don't believe that when it comes to here. I think if that shit go away, nobody pays attention.
Well, let me hit you with the other side of it, right? Because I feel like you say people are tired of drill, but it's like drill still kind of popping. Like there's
Tired of
still a lot of
old drill.
activity going down. You know what I'm
You got
saying? Like,
reinvented.
but what I'm trying to say is that like I think the thing that keeps people interested long term is like the stories and the storytelling. Because really, like, let's be real, man. When you hear these songs about this guy did this guy's smoking on who, and like this is what my profession essentially is. Like people want to know who Tuka is and who you're smoking on and what the fucking story is behind
That's a
this
fact.
song with 80 goons all with guns in the video talking about smoking this. It's intriguing, you know, and it makes you wonder like
Yeah.
what is this? Like what who is this person who's getting smoked? Like what is this block I'm looking at?
That's
And
what
you know,
I'm
that's
saying. The difference with the
Hey,
drill
travel over Zack
spice,
But
TV.
see, six,
you can't.
but 16,
You say what?
he right
You
though.
remember Zack
It's the
TV?
content, bro.
Yeah,
do I
RP
fuck with
Zach.
Zack TV? Yeah.
You
RIP,
remember?
man.
You know what's crazy? Everybody in them videos are either dead or in jail.
Man,
And
it's
what
sad, man.
videos? Talking about his old shits.
Yeah, all this shit. You know, Zack TV died years ago in Chicago, but he the one who
Yeah, I
got
was,
like help put him on the
I, was- I
map.
was, I
He
was
was
there. I was there that night he died. That's why it's crazy
Man,
that like I'm doing what I'm doing now because I wasn't doing that back then.
that's crazy, man. It's
Shit.
a tragic situation, man, you know, and it's fucked up. The amount of people that DM me talking about I'm gonna go out like Zack TV, you know what I'm saying? It's fucked up. And really he was just trying to put the scene on and promote people and shine a spotlight on this kind of scene that was really booming at the time. And for him to go out like that, super sad, man. I you know, it makes me very upset.
I
Yeah,
think
they told me
everything.
the same shit when I first started. They was like, "You gonna be the next Zach." I didn't know if that was like a good thing, like, yeah, you up next, you Zach, or
A
like
good thing or
a
a bad
bad
thing,
thing.
yeah. No, that's facts, man. It's messed up. Hey, I got a question for Wack. I'm gonna change gears. Is Wack still here?
He's on the
He on
Yeah,
the
phone.
I'm
Looks
phone
here.
like
right
He's on the
right
now.
phone.
now.
Hey,
I'm
when
Yeah,
here.
when
he
he's
right
back,
there.
I got a
He
crazy
right
question
there.
for him.
No,
He
I'm
right
here. I'm
there.
here. I'm
Hey,
here.
Wax. So I know that you were kind of involved in and sort of on the in the business side of the whole, you know, Ray J, Kim K tape and stuff. Would you say that Adam and Lena's tape is like on the same level as the Kim K Ray J tape for this generation?
I don't know. I've never seen the Adam and Lena's tape. I don't watch his wife.
No, but for the impact, like you know, it was popping. You know, it was booming when that thing came out, right?
Well, no, I mean the only one I knew was crazy was Lena and the black dude.
No, but
Yeah,
that's
that's
what I
what.
mean. I mean that scene was like big, like the Kim Ray J tape,
Well,
man.
but that ain't got nothing to do with Adam. See,
I
Ray
mean,
J,
Adam
Ray,
masterminded that shit though. Adam's the mastermind of that shit.
I don't know about that. See,
Nah.
I told Adam, I said, listen, Adam, I said, I think you've been bamboozled and hoodwinked and hustled. Now
Damn, I
follow
like
me.
that.
No Jumper was already there. SoundCloud shit, was already there doing the thing, the growth, right? Here comes Lena. Lena had nothing to do with Lena had nothing to do with nothing, right? And next thing you know, hey, babe, let's do this thing called Plug Talk. And we bring in another woman, female, it'd be me, you, and another female. Adam jumps on that, right? Right. Right?
Hey,
Time
listen.
goes on. Time goes on. Lena grows. Plug Talk grows. It went from bringing the female with my man to one on one with a man.
What? So you think Lena masterminded the whole thing to get the BBC?
I told my brother Adam, I think Lena run a play. Now
Nah, no way, man.
Adam tells me he has the proof that it was all his idea, right? Now,
Okay.
did he have something to do with the idea? Absolutely, because there's no way she would have went through with it without his consent and permission. Now, my question to you, do you think Adam regrets it today?
Nah, not at all. I don't think he regrets it one bit.
Hell yeah, he do. Cause dudes got the doing too much.
Hell yeah, because now
Nah, I
See,
think he knows exactly. I
because
think
now he got
everybody else
Aiden
getting
Ross.
played.
Now he got Aiden
see,
Ross asking him on live and shit like that now.
He definitely
see,
regrets it.
Adam's a little tricky, right? Because
That's entertainment,
I'm gonna
man. They're
tell you
killing
why
it.
Adam's tricky, right? Because after that, he did another segment to where he allowed it to happen again. So I don't know if he allowed it to happen again to be like, hey, you stupid motherfuckers, shut up. I'm not tripping. If I was, I wouldn't be allowing it to happen again, right? You know what I'm saying? Or was the money just that good where he didn't give a fuck?
I feel like
I
though
That's
if
the
he
think it
did
was
question
the
the
for
fact
money.
he
fucking
did it
Adam we
again,
gotta ask.
the fact he
Man,
did it
Adam actually
again,
lying, bro. It was
I
the point
think
in
it
time
is.
he said, "I got too much money. I never do nothing like that." And now,
man.
now you doing it. What
Hey,
changed?
listen, listen, man. The Adam and Lena, I feel like they're kinky with it, man. This is what they're into. Like this is a normal day at the office for them. I feel like everyone else is very insecure about their sexuality and their masculinity, and feel like they're very threatened by what he's doing. But I ain't seen nothing wrong with it.
I think the nigga was like, nah, at first, but then she was like, why not? And then she started belittling him. So then he started to grow into going
She ain't
ask.
belittled. No, no, no. We're not doing that. No, she never belittled her husband. That doesn't happen.
Nah, right?
We
Nah. I
not
thought.
doing that. You
I,
not doing that to my coat to the 22 skirt.
Hey
Not
Trap, hey Trap, I heard you was next in line.
Got you.
nah, I feel like they're masterminds, man. I feel like they're smart. I feel like everybody's getting played by them, and they're doing exactly what they want to do, man. So I don't know. I feel like it's a very interesting one. I just feel like when that
bro.
dropped,
Watch this segment of me and R&B on Plug Talk. This shit gonna go
hey,
crazy.
we need that, man. Pause, but we need that.
But yo, maybe he thought it was gonna go big like the Ray J and Kim Kardashian thing if
Oh
they
no,
did it.
it went big.
I feel like it
They
did though.
did?
That's what I'm saying.
You
I
know,
feel like that was Kim K, Ray J for like this generation.
the only difference is Ray J's move made a whole family superstars. So
Mm,
it was a bigger boom.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? So this, it did something for Adam and Lena. Uh, dude probably reaped some benefits, but that Ray J move, bro, it started the rise of the Kardashians. Remember at that time,
Right.
Kim K was the motherfucking assistant going to pick up clothes for Brandy.
Mm.
Yeah, man. That
Yeah,
You
shit
know
no,
got
what I'm saying?
skyrocketed.
that's crazy. Kim K came up, man. I don't think anyone did it better.
Well, good evening, Mr. Traplore. I definitely have a question for you if you're open to questions.
Yeah, I'm open to it. Let's do it.
All right, so this one is a little complex. I like to ask complex questions, so get
Okay.
ready for the ride, Mr. Traplore.
All right, let's go.
So, okay, let's go. Period. So, as someone from the UK diving into American hip hop culture and its
Mm.
darker side, how do you perceive the responsibility of telling these stories authentically? Do you ever
Mm.
feel like you're walking a thin line between documentation and exploitation? Let's talk about it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I like that question. I would say, like, what I do is I'm trying to report on like the most important things that are relevant in the culture right now. For me, my whole story is that I've been a hip hop fan for life. Like, I've never listened to any other genre of music. That's all I listen to. I love hip hop. I've been obsessed with hip hop my entire life. Like, I would say that I'm obsessed with hip hop. I'm a giant fan. I've spent thousands over the years of buying records and buying merch and just consuming this culture that I love, honestly. And one thing leads to another. I end up becoming a journalist, talking about the music that I love, telling the stories. And unfortunately, we're in a generation where the music's got incredibly violent. Drill music kind of boomed over the last few years. I wasn't doing stories on gangsters and drill when I first started out. I was doing more like rap beefs, Rick Ross versus 50 Cent type stuff. And ultimately, I feel like my content kind of got more violent and more serious as the music scene got more violent and serious. And I feel like as drill music took off, there was really an absence of actually responsible reporting on this topic. I feel like so much of not even the reporting, but like the art and the culture, like the lyrics, smoking on dead people, dissing the dead, spinning the block, sharing videos of people getting killed on Reddit, interviews, people fighting, or not fighting, but like dissing each other in interviews and that leading to violence. I think there's just been so much noise and negativity that I think actually the scene needs somebody to kind of break these stories down in a responsible way. And I feel like a lot of people come at me without really consuming all of my content, but I feel like if you consume a full length video of mine start to finish, you'll see that I try and take very, very good care to tell a story respectfully, to tell the history of the area, to tell the kind of socio-economic background of a story or of a hood or of a rapper that I'm discussing, so that I give people the full context, and I always try and let people know that like I don't condone the violence. I think the violence should stop. I don't believe in the beefing. I think the negativity shouldn't continue and that people should move forward positively. And I always try and end my videos with a positive message. And I think that really what I'm trying to do, I didn't start this drill culture. People want to act like I'm the reason people are dying. Like this has been going on. You know, Brandon said it's like blaming the weatherman for it raining, and it's like this drill stuff was already going on. I'm just trying to bring a responsible and a very detailed take. You know, I'm making 4, 5, 6 hour videos on these topics. I'm not just jumping in saying this guy shot this guy hard. That's so funny. Like this is hilarious. He needs to spin. Like I'm trying to be very careful, giving a socio-economic breakdown of like why conditions are so fucked up in certain areas, why things have led to that, and then also why the music is actually so powerful. How these young guys that are going through the trenches and going through the streets are actually using the music to tell their stories and give the world a window into how they're living. And for me, I'm just trying to be a responsible journalist. I know a lot of people don't see eye to eye with me, but I really believe in what I do. And I'm honestly trying to bring just an honest and a reasonable and a decent breakdown to these topics that are the biggest trending topics. You know, people want to act like I made King Von famous. Von has had 50, 60 million view videos. You know what I'm saying? Like he's so much bigger than me. I'm just a journalist trying to help the understanding of this artist that already had a massive impact. You know, I'm really a small cog in the machine, and I really try and conduct myself responsibly. So that's kind of my response to that. And I'm always down to debate with people and get into
So,
the details. But that's how I feel, and I feel like I act with integrity.
So, quick
so
question, bro.
thank you
Oh,
for.
my bad. Chris, go
Ooh,
ahead.
thank you. So with that being said, I definitely had another one to follow that one up, and I feel like you started to touch it. So do you mind if I just go ahead and ask anyway?
Let's do it.
Okay, period. So, given the sensitive nature of some of the topics that you covered that you just mentioned, like
Mm,
gang violence, trigger
mm,
warning, violence, unsolved murders, how
mm,
do you how do you balance bringing awareness to these issues while respecting the people involved,
mm,
especially the victims' families? Because I
mm.
didn't hear you mention that. So let's talk about that part.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you murder people in the community, there's going to be reporting on these situations. I don't think anybody, especially a murderer or a killer, has a right to privacy as far as like just killing people and nobody's ever allowed to talk to it. You know, if that's the case, you know, we need to shut down Chicago Tribune, we need to shut down CNN, because I guess if you can't talk about any tragedies going on in the community, that's just free speech over, right? And we just can't ever talk about anything negative. And we're living in a 1984 dystopia. So really, I'm just reporting on stuff that's going on. Rappers getting killed, that's front page news. Anytime a rapper gets killed, I'm seeing it front page of the news for what I'm for, you know, for the stuff that I'm dealing with. And it's really not a disrespect, but it's like at the end of the day, if you're somebody that has committed murders and rapped about it and got millions of views rapping about it, we have a right to know about you. And you know, I'll use King Von as an example. You know, I think King Von talking about his friends and his family is very important to tell his story. You can't really understand why Von was so violent and why he wanted to kill so many people without talking about the fact that his father was murdered when he was 11. He was shot by a sniper. And these are the sorts of issues that guys are growing up dealing with, and that's unfortunately what leads some guys to be violent. And I think it's really important to get the whole family context and kind of explain people's backgrounds, where they're coming from, who they're associated with over the years, to try and give people an understanding. And I'm really not trying to put anyone on blast or anything like that. I think if you kill somebody, people are going to talk about it, and you got absolutely no right to say, oh, well, I caught 2 bodies and rapped about it, but you're making a video about it. You're making it hot for me. Like, bro, you killed people and you made it hot for yourself and for your family, and people are going to talk about it now. You know, it's a very unfortunate situation. I have a lot of sympathy for, you know, the mothers and the family members of people that, you know, ended up killing people, you know, guys that were involved in the murders of prominent rappers. That really does impact and kind of ruin their families' lives. You know, you've got a son that's known for a high profile murder case. It's unfortunate that that person is now going to be in the spotlight, but again, that's not my fault. You know, I didn't choose for somebody to get murdered. There's always, you know, whether it's you watch the Jeffrey Dahmer series and they talk about how it impacted his family, you know, that's a real thing. And again, I think people just really like to try and direct everything at me. Like they want to try and act like I'm responsible for the violence, or like I'm responsible for the retaliation. Like when a rapper or a gangster rapper, drill rapper kills somebody, disses them, and then spins back, and people want to act like, well, your documentary that kind of laid out the facts in a responsible way is the reason for the violence continuing. I just think that's just untrue. I think it's a disingenuous argument, and I think the sad truth is, I think a lot of people just think I shouldn't do this job because I'm white, and you know, I understand why people might think that, and I know hip hop is you know, it's overall regarded as black culture, even though there's a lot of really successful white rappers. Like it is dominated by black people, a lot of really talented black people, and I think unfortunately a lot of white people that are maybe do journalism on the sidelines of this genre of music that they love, you know, get a lot of heat as a result of that. And I think, you know, I think it's wrong, and I just believe in what I do, and I try and do so with integrity, and I definitely, I don't intend to cause anyone drama, but at the end of the day, if you want to talk about a rapper that's on the mic talking about he's got 7 bodies in front of millions of people, I'm going to look into it, and I'm probably going to look into his family, and I'm probably going to look into the victims, and I'm probably going to look into the victims' families. And you know, one thing that's interesting to me is like when the Von thing was kind of going on, and a lot of people said, "Oh, that's cap. You're putting dirt on his name. It's disrespectful. He didn't do any of that." I felt like that did a disservice to the victims and their families, because those people are gone, and you know, people aren't in custody. And you know, there's a lot of whether you talk about the KI situation, you know, her mother's in interviews talking about she knew Von did it, and I think, you know, where's the respect for the victims' families? We want to talk about, oh well, you shouldn't be able to talk about a rapper that did a murder and any of the situations around them and their childhood, but it's like, what about the families and the friends and the people that missed their loved ones that were killed by the rappers that I'm talking about? You know, I always try and put in that extra perspective. Like if you watch my Philly video that I did recently, in there I kind of put in obituaries of you know, how much people are missing their friends that passed away in this gang war, or innocent people that were killed in the crossfire. And that's where the responsibility of what I do comes in. I'm not just trying to do a kill fest, bloodthirsty, you know, violent escapade type video. I'm trying to do responsible journalism on popular drill music that unfortunately has become very violent in recent times. So that's my take on it. But I really respect your question, and I'd always break it down and explain my side of things to people. You know?
Period.
Passion
Ooh, hold on.